The future sets of Magic the Gathering will focus on a main storyline for the next 3 years, and this storyline is called in total Metronome. It is the ramification of the Phyrexian invasions, and we will skip to different planes to see what is going on that plane. We have a lot of sets coming up in 2024 that we would love to tell you about. Let's get into it.
The 17th of November 2023, we're going back to the plane of Ixalan. This time around, we're having a greater focus on the native people of Ixalan. We're of course going to see the Sun Empire coming back, but we're also seeing a new faction also allied with dinosaurs within the core of Ixalan, where people are going to the hunt for Cosmium. Just like the first time around in Ixalan in 2017, we're going to see vampires, pirates, merfolks, and of course dinosaurs. So there are going to be a lot of typal activity in this set and a lot of fun for players. We're also going to see something new, of course, and this new thing is a special slot called the Special Guest slot. The Special Guest slot features a lot of desirable reprint cards, and they have been fitted to match the set in which they participate in. So this time around we have seen the Lord of Atlantis, and he has been framed or reskinned, you could say, to match the other merfolks of Ixalan. And we're also going to see Mana Crypt fitted to match the plane of Ixalan. With the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, we are going to see some really powerful reprints, but will it be enough to entice people to actually buy a box? What do you think, Sophie?
Well, I think that you enjoy playing your vampires, and our middle son does enjoy stomping all over us with his dinosaur deck. So there are definitely some of the different types that we will love to buy some cards for, but I'm not certain that buying a full box will pay out in the end, because a lot of cards don't have any value any longer. So probably we need to see the full set before deciding, and maybe we're just going to pick up some of those really spicy singles.
First set to be released in the Q1 of 2024 is another remastered set. Just like last year where we saw Dominaria Remastered, we're going to see Ravnica Remastered. And Ravnica is a great plane for Magic. It has given us such great flavor with all the guilds and the different color pairings in the Ravnica guild system. And these color pairings have become canon for Magic, with color pairings such as Orzhov, Rakdos, or Dimir. The first Ravnica block was released in 2005 to 2006 and gave us Ravnica City of Guilds, Guild Pact, and Ascension. Later on we got another Ravnica block, and this time around we got Return to Ravnica, Gatecrash, and Dragon's Maze. These three sets have come down in history as some of the worst Magic sets ever released. It's going to be interesting to see if a Ravnica Remastered set is actually going to deliver the things you would expect a master set or a remastered set to actually do. Is there enough value in a Ravnica Remastered set to warrant the Ravnica Remastered price?
So our reaction for this set is a bit mixed. I think the first time I heard about Ravnica Remastered, I was like, another remastered set already? Where Dominaria Remastered had 30 years and something like 30 sets to pull from. Ravnica is a much shallower pool of cards. So I find myself a little hesitant about, is there going to be enough value in the set to buy an entire box? That might not be so, especially thinking that the Shocklands were already printed in Infinity, and now they're getting another reprint and in 3 different versions. Probably value-wise, this isn't a great pickup, but if you weren't around to experience Ravnica and the excellent flavor that those sets had to offer, maybe this is going to be a fun, draftable experience. The next set we're going to present is going to come out in Q1 of 2024, and it will be a murder mystery set called Murders of Karlov Mansion. This set is going to revolve around solving the mystery, the murder mystery in the set. All we do know right now is going to feature a lot of these old school tropes like the butler and stuff like that in murder mysteries. And we also know that it's going to be connected to a new release of the board game Clue, which will feature a sort of Magic the Gathering feel. So the board game Clue will feature a Murders of Karlov Mansion theme and vibe, which is clearly Magic the Gathering, while Clue is a board game owned by Hasbro. So perhaps this collaboration is more about the joint owner of these two brands than a really nice synergy with both IPs involved, because I can't really imagine it, but who knows, we might be surprised.
I'm a bit confused. Am I playing Clue or am I playing Magic? Because right now I have a really hard time distinguishing between the two of these. The scope for this set seems kind of limited. It takes place in a mansion, and even though this mansion is said to be really big, huge even. I still think it's a kind of a limited scope. We have seen that Magic sets usually take place within a whole realm, a whole plane. So having it take place in only a mansion seems a little, I don't know, confined to my taste. To me, this feels like the whole Innistrad Crimson Vow, where the whole setting was at a wedding. And we had all the vampires and all the nice stuff, but it still came out a little flat, I think. So, right now, for this set, I am unsure what to expect.
And this moves us on to Q2 of 2024. We're going to have Outlaws of Thunder Junction. This set was shown at the panel and people seemed a bit confused but also excited because it had some very cool concept art. But we are in a sort of Wild West themed world and this plane has only all the villains of Magic the Gathering. How they got there, we don't know, maybe something about the omen paths. But we do know that we can recognize some of the villains here. We believe that the big flying villain on the right side of the picture might just be Rakdos. And in the middle of the picture, we see a figure that is not just a silhouette, but rather you can see the face and the costume or outfit of this person. It looks like this might be Oko, who was in Throne of Eldraine but got banned pretty fast, and he didn't show up for Wilds of Eldraine, so maybe this is where he's been hiding all along, right here in Thunder Junction. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting that like button so the YouTube can know that you're actually enjoying this video. And if you've seen a few of our videos and you like them, please consider becoming a subscriber right down there. Thank you. Let's go on with the video. And we can also recognize a few of the other people. Presumably one of them is Old Rothstein because he has the exact same lantern as he did in the set where he previously popped up.
Outlaws are great. Who do not love outlaws armed to their teeth on the prairie with a bad attitude and a shoot first and ask questions later mentality? Well, I do, but mostly in films. How is this going to work for a standard set? Are we going to see nickel bowlers hanging out in the saloon, throwing down whiskies and brandishing a revolver? Or how is this set actually going to work? I have a really hard time wrapping my head around that. And how is all of these new settings going to actually show us the ramifications of the Phyrexian invasion? I'm a bit confused still, and as I think it's really hard to see how these sets are going to expand upon the story that Magic has already been engaging with. That being said, we might also just take off our hats and give a little nod to Wizards for actually trying something new, for exploring new settings and exploring new themes. And, well, we don't know, it might work, it might be great. Even though I like the pop cultural references and even though I love the Outlaws, I might just not like it that much in Magic. So I think that this lonely cowboy is going to ride towards the sunset and skip this set completely. Modern Horizons 3. Finally something well known, finally something familiar. We know that the two first Modern Horizons sets have been absolutely broken banger set and they have been very popular with the players within Magic the Gathering. Modern Horizons have been famous for introducing very powerful cards, very broken cards, and having some absolutely truly spectacular reprints, like we saw in Modern Horizons 2, where the enemy fetch lands were reprinted. Many of the other cards had almost format warping impact, especially in Pauper. So I think Modern Horizons 3 is going to be a really great set. And we've seen from the panel that at least we're going to see 3 big Eldrazi's being reprinted. And we also know that Modern Horizons 3 is going to be fully adapted into Magic the Gathering Arena Online.
Just like the other two Modern Horizons sets, we think this set is going to bring some really powerful cards and some really powerful reprints. And one of the guesses that we keep continuing is that we think that we will see some allied fetch lands in Modern Horizons 3. They haven't been reprinted for a good long while, and they came back with Cards of Takir in 2014, so it has to be about time for a reprint. And we do think that these allied fetches will see a reprint this time around in Modern Horizons 3, just like we saw the enemy fetch lands being reprinted in Modern Horizons 2. For this time around, there's probably going to be some very exciting cards. The only thing that makes us hesitate just a bit is the price factor. Just like we saw with Commander Masters, it got really pricey And if Wizards are going to crank up the price once more, we're probably just going to be picking up singles because there is a limit to how much we're willing to pay for a box. But do let us know down in the comment section, how much would you be willing to pay for a Modern Horizons 3 set with really good reprints, maybe even those allied fetches, and some really cool new cards? Let us know down below.
The first set in Q3, the first standard set is going to be Bloomburrow. And this set is going to be an anthropomorphic set with only animals that have human-like qualities. And that is pretty much what we know so far. We're not going to see the usual standard types such as humans, vampires, elves or dwarves, because we're only going to see cute little animals. On the one side, of course, hats off to Wizards for trying something new and something never seen before in Magic. We have never seen a standard Magic set without any humanoid creatures. So having this anthropomorphic feel to other cute and little animals is going to be something new at least. If it's going to be great, that remains to be seen.
This set can be seen in two different ways. Either they're trying to catch a younger audience, perhaps like people like us who play Magic the Gathering and have kids that also want to play, and maybe give them something slightly more cutesy and less bloody and gory. That might be one of it ways to see it, like more of a cash grab than something that they're actually exploring. The other option is that they are truly just exploring some new things and trying to think out concepts without usual creatures that we're used to seeing, like elves or goblins or Eldrazi. And I think it might be exciting to explore this set, but personally I do want to see more from the set and some of the cards before I decide on whether or not I'm picking up this set.
Next standard set in Q3 is Duskmourn House of Horror. Right now we don't know much about the Duskmourn House of Horror. We know that it takes place within a mansion, and we know that there are going to be some horrendous creatures in there. And it has this 70s, 80s feel to it as a horror story. So yeah, you heard that right, peeps out there. It has a 70s, 80s feel to it. So this is actually a Magic set that is going to go straight up into modern times.
I'm not sure we even have to say it, but as Jens has been saying for some of these different sets, what is this actually? Is it Magic the Gathering, or are we just telling a lot of desperate different stories within the same game mechanics? I fear that this is coming too far away from what I enjoy about Magic, which is high fantasy and a lot of sort of fairy tale adventurous sort of themes. A 70s, 80s Rocky Horror Picture Show sort of vibe within Magic the Gathering. Right now, I don't have the imagination to see how it's going to work out. But I did get a big surprise with both Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty, and also Streets of New Capenna. Sometimes they experiment and it works out great, and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm erring on the side that this probably won't be the best set for me. So I think that's going to be a pass from us.
That is what we know about the coming sets of 2024, and we hope that this gives you an outline of what to expect in the coming sets of Magic the Gathering.
And as you've heard us say, we're probably going to be skipping some of these sets because right now we don't exactly see how they're going to work out thematically and still fit within what feels like Magic the Gathering universe. But we could get surprised, and I think there are a few of the sets where I think, okay, it has some potential. So if they do it right, it might turn out to be fun and flavorful. But there are also some of the sets where I just know that's not something I'm going to enjoy. And like Blake said, just skip what you don't like and focus on the parts that you do.
So right now we are a bit worried about the standard sets of Magic in 2024. But we are looking forward to the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. And if you want to know more about the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, you can watch this video up here.
Thank you so much for watching. We really enjoyed being back again, and we hope that you enjoyed watching this video. And if you do, please consider hitting the like button and becoming a subscriber to the channel. We will see you in the next video.